Hello Gemini, welcome to ArcanaUniverse. This is going to be your what kind of blessings and insights do we have for the eclipse season. Let's get started. Breathe in, breathe out. One more. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Please remember this is a general reading, so only take what resonates. We do have cross watchers, so roles can be reversed, but you will know if this is your story. So we're going to be tapping into your recent past, present, and future energies just so that we can have a general feel for what's going on in your life, and then we'll dig deeper into the specifics when it comes to what's happening for you as a result of the eclipse season. I get hiccups when I channel. So I see here in your recent past that you've been just focusing on your abundance and your base income. There was this like wonderful opportunity that you were able to kind of like begin and start, and I see that because you took things seriously in a sense, like you actually like put in the work, took the necessary steps, there is this reward of being able to have some sort of like progression. Things are like bubbling and falling into place for you is what I'm picking up. Currently, you are transitioning into this new like schedule or new pace and scenery when it comes to your everyday work life as well. And just the day-to-day, it's a lot different than how you used to have it. And I see that there's also this more of an opportunity to connect with people on a day-to-day basis. So it's almost like this like reawakening. I think the pandemic time was a very like isolating kind of energy and time for you, but what was so great about it is that you were actually able to rest, and now you get to just focus on just working and working on your image and reputation. I see here in your future energies that you're going to be sad about something. What's the sadness about? So I see here that the sadness is about there's somebody here that like you really love or like or and want something more, but there is this feeling of not being able to see each other right away or be in each other's presence right away. So there is some sort of like a lot of like time apart. And there is some level of conflict. Like, what's the conflict about? Yeah, just not being with like the people you love, with your family, due to the fact that you've been having to work so much. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like it's like kind of what you manifested. Like you wanted to work, you wanted to make money, and the other side to that is that because you're focusing a lot on your career and your work and your finances, you're not necessarily able to spend as much time with your family than you used to. Alexa, I'm home.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and see and just dive in deeper into specifically what is going to be coming for you as a result. Like what's different? What is the eclipse bringing in for you? The eclipse season. So what the eclipse season is bringing for you is like some sort of ending to dissatisfaction. If there has been some sort of like stagnant energy, if something didn't go your way, I see that being addressed. I see that being sorted. And there's going to be like a lot of like confirmation. If you have been wondering like how things are going to go, or like you've been waiting on some sort of decision, or like it's going to surface, it's going to make itself known, and you're gonna be able to decipher whether or not this is something you actually want in your life. There's this message of a silver lining here. At first glance, this may be something that you did not want. You just kind of felt like, oh no, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I want. But it's going to help make things clear, so that it's going to help you make a better decision about whether or not to entertain this. What is this? Like, what is this thing that... So some of you, it has to do with like a work, like a client or something like that, somebody that you may work with. This person in the past may have felt like, oh, I'm getting this kind of like damsel in distress, like, oh, like if they act like they don't know, or like they don't know much, maybe like Gemini would help me. They'll like come in and save the day like they're used to. But I see here that I think they've been kind of taking you for granted. Okay, somebody here has been taking you for granted, and you're gonna lay some. So I'm like an example. Obviously, this is just an example. So make it fit however it's like. Think of it as like a metaphor, or like, yeah, an example, and apply it to your situation how you see fit. But for an example, I see here like somebody, like perhaps in the past you had a client that got like a very good deal, um and they're so used to getting such great deals from you, they're kind of like milking that. They're like, oh well, like you gave me a deal last time, are you gonna like, you're gonna give me another good deal, right? But it's just like you have tried every creative and possible ways to give them that deal, but at this point it's kind of like, if you give them any more of a deal, it's like you're paying them, the client, to do stuff, like when it should be the client should be paying you. So you're going to kind of like make it known. The advice coming through is like, try not to burn bridges. I think some of you are going to be like, no, that's enough, and just like kind of like shut down on them and like give them, I don't want to say give them an attitude, but some of you might you might just kind of like, your impatience, or like the other side of you might just kind of like snap and be like, no, like that's not, no. And you just kind of like end up shutting them down. But the universe is trying to say, hey, it's good for you to kind of stand your ground and know what you want and make it vocal and not be taken advantage of. But like, try not to do it at the expense of burning bridges if you can avoid it. Obviously, if this is something that can't be avoided, you need to just kind of sever ties, period. You do what you gotta do, okay? And I think you'll know. And there's some sort of like, this person is not going to be very vocal, like you'll just sense it. It's kind of, I'm getting this feeling of like what they say and what they do does not align. So maybe in their words it's just like, oh yeah, like whatever you think is best, but then it's like, no, that's not how I actually want it. It's like, it's my way or the highway. And you just kind of like you're going to snap out of it. So this eclipse season is just going to make you feel like, you know what, you could only do so much. You're just going to give it the best you got, but you're no longer going to let people just like take advantage of your services, in a sense, like your business and your services. Like you're not about that. So you're willing to just like start things in a new mindset. You're going to be starting something new here is what I'm picking up. Okay, any final messages, Spirit? Okay, so I did a little extra spinny for you because I'm like, there's something that wants to be said here. So I guess we're about to find out. So Spirit has a message. That wanted to pop up. I saw that earlier. I was like, What's wrong? What's wrong, Gemini? Oh, Gem. Oh. Okay. So, Geminis, I see here that, so Spirit is acknowledging that you really had to stand up. You really had to like grow up, stand your power, stand your ground. And you've been putting up a pretty good facade, or like this image that, you know, you're strong, you're powerful, you're empowering, you know what you want, you go after what you want. But deep underneath all of that, you're sad. You miss somebody here so bad. Like I'm getting this feeling you're missing your soulmate. And some of you may have children, you may be missing your children. And you may be away from somebody special at this time. And Spirit is saying, you know, your hard work, your this wanting to strive to do better and do better, so that you can almost be like this inspiration to others. It's not going unnoticed, okay? So even though things may seem very like hard, or you're putting in a lot of energy towards your career and not necessarily towards your loved ones, it's saying that you guys will reconnect soon, like eventually. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Like you guys have a soul tie. So this, whatever's happening in your life at this time, just know that it's temporary, and just like the seasons, it'll pass. Like it's not always going to be busy forever. You're going to have opportunities to connect with people you love and care about. So it's saying, you know, keep the momentum going. You're doing great. It's more, I'm getting like a word of encouragement here, because there is this like part of you that is so sad and misses the people, like your loved ones. So I'm seeing you in this very single, like alone, doing things by yourself kind of energy right now. So but just know, like all your efforts is not going to waste, and the people that are meant to be in your life will always be there. So you don't have to worry about that. So that's what I have for you, Geminis. I do post monthly and yearly readings, so feel free to check out your 2024 reading, your Year of the Dragon reading, and the latest April monthly reading as well. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.